guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, karibu sana. If you are a returning subscriber, you are my favorite person and you don't even know it yet. So today I want us to make a one-pot stewed chicken. I know you're about to judge me because I say we're stewing chicken, but guess what? That's what we're doing. This is the lazy meal. This is the type of meal you cook when you're tired, you just got home from work, you're beat to death, you don't want the process of cooking. So what you do is you blend your spices, you blend your vegetables, you put them in a baking tin and you throw it in the oven, and voila, after 45 minutes you have a meal. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. It's called the one pot stewed chicken. One pot because everything goes into the pot and you have a meal. So for the one pot stewed chicken, you need chicken. This is a whole chicken. You need sweet corn. This is optional. You need waru. By now you know. If you don't know, I am in a committed relationship with warus. So you need like three medium-sized potatoes. Those are enough. And then I'll show you the spices as we go along. So for the vegetables, you need tomatoes. I'm going to use 2 tomatoes. You need dania, aka cilantro. You need bell peppers. You need onions. You need garlic, and you need carrots. So I'm going to chop these and then blend in a blender with these spices. But don't worry, you're not missing anything. You're not missing not a single step, okay? But the warus is potatoes for the non-Swahili speakers. Okay, so I'm going to start off by chopping the bell peppers. You don't need to chop them into fine small pieces because I'm just going to blend them together. So those are about 4 pieces of garlic. The next thing I'm going to cut is cilantro, aka dania. Alright, that's done. Then tomatoes. I'm using 2 medium ones. And then carrots. I think I'll just grate the carrots. I don't mind. Then I'm going to finish off chopping the vegetables by chopping onions. So once I'm done chopping onions, I'm also going to put them here. So once you're done with that, you just put everything here in a blender in this jug. The next step is to now put my spices. So please stay with me so that you don't get lost. The spices that I'm going to use are half a teaspoon of black pepper, my favorite spice, beef and onion stew mix. I put some of the beef spices in chicken, a spoonful. That was a full teaspoon. And because garlic is the girl that she thinks that she is, I'm going to put another teaspoon of garlic, a pinch of rosemary. That's enough. A pinch of oregano. That's like a 1/4 teaspoon. A 1/4 teaspoon of curry powder. A 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. The next thing is curry cubes, the Knorr curry cubes. Just a half is enough. If you don't have curry cubes, you can use curry powder. Then I'm going to use half of the Knorr chicken cubes. The first one was curry cubes, this is chicken cubes. A half is enough. The next thing I'm going to put is the tomato and onion cubes, also from Knorr. A half is also enough. And then I'm just going to eyeball the chicken masala. That should be like a quarter teaspoon. And last but not least, a quarter teaspoon of chicken tikka. So after you're done putting all those spices and vegetables, you just put in like a cup of water. That's enough. I'm just eyeballing, but I know it's equivalent to half a cup of water. And guys, you don't have to use the spices that I'm using, just use your favorite spices and you'll be good to go. So now I'm going to blend all this mix together, and then I'm going to show you the next step. So I'm done blending. And I'm going to show you the next step. Once you're done blending, if you noticed I didn't put salt in my mixture, I'll put salt here to taste. And then I'll add like 2 tablespoons of soy sauce to my chicken. That's enough. So I'm going to mix that all together so that your chicken has color. Because what happens is if you put your mixture with the chicken without browning it, chicken yako itatoka ikiwa white, pure white stewed chicken, which is not very appealing to look at. So what I do is I mix the salt and the soy sauce, and then I'm going to put it in a grilling pan, each side 2 minutes, and the chicken will now be ready for the oven. So I'm done mixing. What I'm going now to do next is brown it in a grilling pan. Right, so I'm just going to heat up my pan. And then if you also noticed, I didn't put any oil anywhere, so this is where you put the oil on your pan and you wait for it to get hot. Once it's hot, that's when now you can start placing your chicken one by one. So my pan is now hot. I'm just going to put in the chicken piece by piece. Keep checking on your chicken, like at least after every 1 minute, because we're just browning, we're not cooking it in the pan. So here's my chicken, it's all browned and you can see it already looks good. Remember, we brown for color, so it's still raw. So I'm just putting it here and then I'll transfer it to the baking tin. This is a baking tin or casserole. It's one of those, I'm not too sure. So the first thing you're going to do is that extra that extra oil, you put it in here because it has flavor. And then we're going to put the chicken here. Okay, so here's my chicken. The next thing you do is you mix. Mix it thoroughly. Right, it's mixed. Then you pour it all here. Alright, once you're done, you put in potatoes. I'm going to use my hand, but they're clean. I usually put the potatoes on the edges. You just need like 3 big-sized potatoes. Mine are small, that's why I have like 6 pieces. Once you're done, this is optional. You don't have to put waru, but the way this relationship of mine is set up with waru, everywhere I go, it goes. And then you add sweet corn, which is also optional. I'm just being a little bit extra for you. Okay, so that's enough. So let me show you. This is the sweet corn that I'm using. Guys, the waru and the sweet corn is optional. And you don't have to put the same spices as me. Just put the spices that you like. And then I'm going to put everything into the oven for 45 minutes in 300 degrees. I'm using the all-round heat function with a fan on. So guys, my meal is now oven ready. This is how it looks. I've scooped some that I might need to add corn flour depending on how the consistency will be, but I'm sure it's going to be thick. So let me just put it in the oven. So at around 35 minutes, I'm going to remove it just to check on the consistency and to turn the potatoes on the other side. And then I'm going to add in corn flour if the consistency is not as thick as I would have wanted it to be. So see you after 35 minutes. So guys, it's now 10 minutes to the actual 45 minutes. So I'm just going to remove it and then check up on the thickness and everything, and then I'll know if I'll need to add corn flour. It is hot and flaming in there. So what I do is first I have to turn the potatoes upside down so they can also cook on that side. So I'm going to do that for all the potatoes that were not totally immersed into the stew. Okay. Then the next thing that I do is check on the consistency. I think the consistency is okay. Let me show you what the consistency is like. So there's the consistency. Ooh, child. So that's how the consistency looks like. I don't think there's any need to add corn flour, but because I had reserved some mixture here, I'm just going to add just a little bit, not too much. I could have gone without. That's like half a tablespoon. I don't like the way corn flour is usually messy. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that together. This is actually the raw vegetables and spices that I blended. And then what I do is I put a spot, a spot, a spot, a spot, a spot, and you're good to go. That is, if your mixture will not be as thick as mine, you may need to use like 2 tablespoons of corn flour. So, oh Lord, I'm ready for these. I can tell you they're much. So what I'll do, just stir softly. So I'm just going to put it back for another 10 minutes, same temperature. So let me do that. So I'm going to monitor that for another 10 minutes, and then once I'm done, the meal is ready. So guys, if you don't have an oven, you can substitute the oven process by using a pressure cooker. Just make sure repeat the process as I've done, but you will have to put the corn flour at the beginning of the process because you can't open a pressure cooker midway. So let me wait for 10 minutes. So it's 10 minutes later, and this is the end result. You can see the consistency I was talking about, and I can tell you it looks delicious. I've served myself some. I'm just waiting for it to cool, then I'll dig in. So let me now taste it. It is perfect. You can see the potatoes are also cooked. Guys, and the chicken is also cooked. You can see the browning helped. Alright guys, so that's how you make a one-pot chicken stew. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Stay safe. Don't forget to sanitize, wear your mask and social distance. I'll see you in the next one that I'm making pizza from scratch. So I'm so excited about that. So I'll catch you on that, and please subscribe if you haven't. Bye.